North Korea, officially the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, stands as one of the most isolated and secretive nations on Earth. Nestled between China and South Korea, it is a land of stark contrasts and rigid control. The country is often referred to as a Hermit Kingdom due to its extreme isolation from the rest of the world. This isolation is not just physical, but also ideological, as the government enforces a strict regime of information control and propaganda. The leadership under the Kim dynasty has maintained a tight grip on power for decades, shaping the nation's identity and policies. Shrouded in mystery, it tightly controls information flowing in and out of its borders. The Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing conflict and division between North and South Korea. Guard towers and barbed wire fences mark the boundary, with soldiers constantly patrolling the area. This heavily fortified border is one of the most militarized zones in the world, symbolizing the tension and hostility that still exists on the Korean peninsula. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, as it styles itself, remains an enigma, its true nature obscured by layers of propaganda and secrecy. The capital city, Pyongyang, is adorned with grand monuments and statues of its leaders, Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Propaganda posters and mass rallies are common sights, reinforcing the government's narrative and ideology. The citizens are often seen participating in these orchestrated events, showcasing their loyalty and devotion to the regime. This isolation fuels global fascination and speculation, making it a subject of intense scrutiny and debate. International media often covers North Korea with a mix of curiosity and concern, highlighting the country's human rights issues and nuclear ambitions. Tourists who visit the DMZ get a glimpse into this closed-off nation, while academic experts and analysts try to decode the regime's actions and intentions. The global community remains intrigued and wary of North Korea's unpredictable behavior. For decades, the DPRK has existed in near-total isolation, its citizens cut off from the outside world. In the rural areas, life is starkly different from the capital. Traditional houses and farmlands dominate the landscape, with farmers working tirelessly to sustain their communities. The infrastructure is often underdeveloped, and resources are scarce. Despite these challenges, the people continue to persevere, adapting to the harsh conditions imposed by their government. The government maintains a tight grip on all aspects of life, from the media to the movement of its people. State-run television and newspapers are the primary sources of information, delivering a carefully curated version of reality. Public squares and streets are heavily policed, ensuring that any dissent is swiftly dealt with. The regime's control extends to every corner of society, leaving little room for personal freedom or expression. This control extends to the internet, with only a select few granted access, offering a curated and heavily censored version of the world. The internet in North Korea is a tightly controlled network, with access limited to government officials and select individuals. Internet cafes are rare and heavily monitored, with users only able to access a restricted set of websites. The regime's censorship ensures that the citizens remain isolated from global perspectives, reinforcing the government's narrative and control. The North Korean government exerts an iron grip on its citizens, employing an extensive surveillance network to stifle dissent and maintain control. This intricate web of informants and secret police permeates every level of society, creating an atmosphere of fear and paranoia. Citizens are constantly monitored, their actions scrutinized for any hint of disloyalty or criticism of the regime. Expressing dissenting opinions can have dire consequences, ranging from imprisonment in labor camps to harsher punishments. The government's intolerance for opposition extends to any form of organized religion or independent thought. This climate of fear effectively silences any potential challenges to the regime's authority. Central to North Korea's control is the pervasive cult of personality surrounding its leaders, particularly the Kim dynasty. From a young age, North Koreans are indoctrinated with state-sponsored propaganda that portrays the Kim family as infallible saviors. Their portraits adorn every public space, and their birthdays are celebrated as national holidays. This relentless propaganda aims to foster unwavering loyalty and obedience to the regime, creating an environment where questioning the leadership is unthinkable. The government leverages this cult of personality to justify its actions and maintain its grip on power. One of North Korea's most potent tools of control is its tight grip on information. Access to foreign media is strictly prohibited, and state-run outlets are the sole source of news and entertainment. This carefully curated information bubble shields citizens from alternative viewpoints and paints a distorted picture of the outside world. This information control extends to education, where history is rewritten to glorify the regime and demonize its enemies. The government ensures that its citizens remain largely unaware of the realities beyond their borders, perpetuating a narrative of isolation and self-reliance. Section 5. A Day in the Life. For ordinary North Koreans, life is a constant struggle marked by poverty, food insecurity, and limited opportunities. The government controls nearly every aspect of life, from the food distribution system to employment. Many families rely on small-scale farming or market trading to make ends meet. The black market, though illegal, is often a lifeline for those who can't survive on state rations alone. The majority of the population lives in rural areas where manual labor and subsistence farming are the norm. These farmers work tirelessly from dawn till dusk, often with rudimentary tools and little to no modern machinery. The agricultural sector is crucial, yet it remains underdeveloped, contributing to the chronic food shortages that plague the nation. Access to basic necessities like electricity, running water, and healthcare is limited, particularly outside major cities. In many rural areas, families rely on wells for water and use firewood for cooking and heating. Healthcare facilities where they exist are often under-resourced and lack essential medicines and equipment. This makes everyday life a constant battle for survival. Despite these hardships, North Koreans are known for their resilience and resourcefulness, finding ways to navigate the challenges of daily life under a repressive regime. Families often come together to support one another, sharing resources and labor. Children play in the streets, finding joy in simple pleasures, while adults engage in communal activities to foster a sense of unity and hope. However, the constant threat of surveillance and the fear of repercussions for any perceived transgression cast a long shadow over their existence. The government employs a vast network of informants and surveillance technology to monitor its citizens. This pervasive atmosphere of fear stifles freedom of expression and forces people to live in a state of perpetual caution, always wary of who might be watching or listening. Section 6. The Price of Freedom. The stories of North Korean defectors offer a harrowing glimpse into the brutal realities hidden behind the regime's carefully constructed facade. These individuals, who risked their lives to escape, recount tales of starvation, torture, and imprisonment in labor camps. Their testimonies paint a starkly different picture from the official narrative. Defectors often face a long and arduous journey to freedom, fraught with peril at every turn. Those who successfully escape bear witness to the human cost of the regime's oppression and provide invaluable insights into the true nature of life inside North Korea. Section 7. Whispers from the outside. Despite the government's best efforts, outside information is slowly seeping into North Korea, carried by smuggled foreign media, illicit radio broadcasts, and whispers across the border with China. This trickle of information, while limited, is beginning to chip away at the regime's carefully constructed narrative. Access to these alternative sources of information is dangerous, carrying severe penalties if discovered. However, the growing awareness of the outside world, however fragmented, represents a potential crack in the regime's control over its citizens' minds. Section 8. The Propaganda Machine. The North Korean government operates a sophisticated propaganda machine that permeates every aspect of its citizens' lives, from state-run media to the education system. This relentless barrage of propaganda aims to instill unwavering loyalty to the regime and demonize its perceived enemies. State-run media portrays North Korea as a socialist paradise, its citizens united in their devotion to the Kim family. However, this carefully curated image stands in stark contrast to the realities of poverty, oppression, and human rights abuses that pervade the country. Section 9. Unmasking the Truth. Uncovering the truth about North Korea remains an ongoing challenge. The country is often described as the most secretive and isolated nation in the world. Its government maintains a tight grip on all aspects of life, from the media to the movement of its citizens. The regime's secrecy and tight control over information make it difficult to verify accounts from within its borders. Propaganda is a powerful tool used by the government to shape the perception of both its citizens and the outside world. However, by piecing together defector testimonies, analyzing satellite imagery, and scrutinizing the limited information that escapes, we can start to form a clearer picture. Defectors often risk their lives to share their stories, providing invaluable insights into the realities of life in North Korea. Intercepted radio broadcasts and smuggled footage also play a crucial role in shedding light on the situation. These snippets of information, though fragmented, help build a more comprehensive understanding of the regime's inner workings. We can begin to understand the true nature of this enigmatic nation, the daily lives of its citizens, the struggles they face, and the pervasive atmosphere of fear and control become more apparent. The international community must continue to pressure North Korea to end its human rights abuses. Diplomatic efforts and global awareness are essential in pushing for change. The regime needs to open up to the outside world, allowing for greater transparency and interaction. This could pave the way for economic development and improved living conditions for its people. Allowing its citizens the freedoms they deserve is not just a moral imperative, but a necessary step towards a more stable and prosperous future for the nation. Only then can the veil of secrecy be truly lifted. The chains of oppression must be broken to reveal the true potential of the North Korean people, and the truth about North Korea revealed. The world must stand together in solidarity to support the journey towards freedom and truth for the North Korean people.